All right, good Monday morning, everyone. I've got some audio feedback. Hang on one second. That will fix it. Okay, we're off to a blazing start already on this Monday, but good Monday morning, everyone. 10:30, First Alert Meteorologist Eric Burke. Thanks for joining us for a Weather Extra. Started off this morning, some areas of very dense fog across the area, and that has since dissipated, and it's just one of those days where, depending on what part of North Alabama or Middle Tennessee you're in, you guys could be experiencing two completely different days. As far as some of you are seeing sunshine at the moment, others are still stuck in the clouds and will continue to see the clouds for a good portion of the day. But just kind of recapping things, Friday, 48 First Alert Weather Day. That was the last Weather Extra I did with you guys, and that was just that line of storms, just really nasty storms with big hail and also the damaging winds, and that was for a good portion of your Friday afternoon. Had periods of heavy rain over the weekend, including your Sunday. At least we had some dry hours to enjoy some time outside, but right there on the right-hand side of your screen, that is Gunnersville here on this Monday morning, and they are mainly cloudy at the moment. The temperature sensor down there at Albertville's airport actually out of commission, maybe just taking a long weekend. And then you got Wilson Dam here out in the shoals. They are partly to mostly cloudy too. 57 right now, Northwest Alabama Regional Airport. And Wilson Dam itself, you can see it's kind of letting some water out too. We've seen a lot of heavy rainfall lately, and we've got more rain to talk about as we go through Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Today, it just doesn't feel like May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, for those of you that observe or participate, whatever you have planned today, but definitely cooler than what you'd expect, considering our average high temperature for May 5th in Huntsville is actually 80 degrees. We're not even going to be close to that today, and temperatures have only warmed up a handful of degrees since we started off this morning. Go out to the radar, and most of you are dry. The air is relatively dry. It's not the very humid air mass that we had last week, but the reason this forecast specifically for today is just kind of tricky for all different parts of the viewing area is because we have a cutoff center of low pressure, and that is just kind of meandering off to our north, and we just get those wraparound showers. With the kind of absence of that humid air mass, it's pretty difficult to actually see rain coming out of this, but we do have a few sprinkles up there just in parts of Middle Tennessee, even moving north of the Chattanooga metro area, and Nashville I know had some rain earlier this morning too. I will include just a 10% chance, maybe a period of drizzle, maybe some mist, or even a light shower at some point through the rest of the morning into the afternoon. The farther north you go, the higher likelihood or chance you have of actually having to run into some of that drizzle or the light shower. Might pop your umbrella, but that's it. Check our temperatures. Some of you dropped into the mid-40s this morning, and that was about as cool as we were waking up yesterday morning, but for this time of year, that's a pretty chilly start. Grabbing a jacket, some kind of a sweatshirt or something, and even today, it's not cold by any means. It's just definitely cool, and I kind of broke one of my own rules. I was complaining yesterday when I was outside with my wife, saying, oh, it's kind of chilly, even though it wasn't, but you just know what's looming is the oppressive heat and humidity that we're going to have through late spring, all of the summer months, and a good portion of September, even October sometimes. So you know that's what's coming. So you just kind of have to appreciate a May day like today with these cooler temperatures in the 50s. We've got some 60s if you go out towards Sand Mountain, parts of Jackson, as well as DeKalb County. 3-day forecast looks like this. We're going with 68 today, at least for the metro areas. I think some of you might struggle to even see mid-60s, especially above the state line, just to our north into parts of Middle Tennessee. You've got your 10% chance of drizzle or that rogue sprinkle, but that's it. Really limited moisture with this. It's all associated with that cutoff center of low pressure. 51 overnight tonight. Some of you on Tuesday morning around daybreak may briefly drop into the upper 40s. I am anticipating more fog, though, for that morning commute on Tuesday, but it turns out to be the best day of the week. Now, that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but high of 76, mostly sunny, not too humid, not too windy, no chance of rain. That's a good-looking day for my standards, at least. You may feel otherwise. Maybe this is your favorite day, or you like the rain and storms like we had over the weekend, too. By Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, well, the pattern gets more active again, and no one day, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, will be start to finish rainfall, just a total washout. It won't be like that, but we will have those periods of showers Rainfall could be heavy at times. It can be fairly widespread, but it's not just going to rain from the morning all the way straight through to the afternoon. And I think we'll hear some thunder, see some lightning. Right now, there's no indication of any form of strong to severe storms for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That is, of course, something we will be keeping a close eye on because you saw what happened last week with Friday's weather, in particular, that 48 first alert weather day for all of those storms. But here's kind of your planner outlook for the rest of the day. Looks like we'll be in the mid to upper 60s. Some of you seeing sun, others just kind of hanging out, mostly cloudy to overcast. There's not a ton of wind to deal with. It's out of the west and southwest, about 5 to 10 miles per hour, maybe some gusts about 12 to 13, but that's it. And a lot of you will stay dry, just some of you having to deal with the drizzle. Once the sun sets, that wind dies down and we start to clear out pretty quickly. That means radiational cooling going on and all that energy. You don't have the clouds to act like a blanket. That's how you see your temperature dropping quickly into the 40s and 50s. So that's what we're looking at overnight. Areas of fog possible by daybreak tomorrow, so maybe factor that into your commute. Now here's future radar and satellite. We've got some cloud cover to deal with. It is hinting at the potential for those isolated showers, maybe some drizzle. I think it's a little overdone on the model data, but we have to include the mention of that stray pocket of drizzle or even a shower through the afternoon, and should be wrapping up at the very latest around the evening commute. And then we start to see the clearing happening overnight. 9 o'clock temperatures will be in the mid to upper 50s, but falling into the 40s to low 50s. And then we start to warm up, the sun coming up earlier and earlier. That means our low temperatures start to warm a little bit quicker than they did, just even a few weeks ago when that sun was coming up a little later. Great day incoming for your Tuesday. There it is, pick of the week by my meteorologist, Eric Burke. Mid 70s, sunny and light winds. Your wind today, kind of west-southwesterly, about 5 to 10. Again, gusting 12 to 13. That's nothing spectacular. And then we see our rain chances increasing as we go through Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And this won't be start to finish rainfall. Things just kind of hit and miss. This will be scattered in nature, probably some thunder and lightning expected as we go through the morning into the afternoon, potentially even into Wednesday evening. Now we go into some of the longer resolution model data that goes out a little farther, just to show you potentially what we're looking at. A good portion of your day on Thursday is going to be dry. We'll have some rain showers developing by Thursday afternoon and evening. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 70s. Looks like late Thursday night, potentially into Friday morning, another round of showers. Shower chances continue as we go through Friday afternoon and evening. This will not be like last Friday where we had that severe weather threat. This is going to be more rain. But when you have 3 days with periods of off and on showers, your rainfall totals are going to start to jump up a little bit. Now, this seems a bit generous with the coverage, but this does include Wednesday, all day Thursday, and all the way through Friday evening, not factoring in your weekend at all. But it looks like our rainfall totals could be anywhere from ½ an inch for areas to the north and middle Tennessee to 1 to 2 or more inches. And with the pattern we have, you might have seen some talk about this maybe on the Today Show earlier this morning. We have what we call an omega block. And that means it's going to be active weather through the plains, but we're kind of on the tail end of things. And with that cutoff center of low pressure that we're dealing with, you can see that well-defined counterclockwise rotation. It's wrapping the clouds around too, and it's also wrapping around some of those showers for parts of the Ohio River Valley, through Ohio, Kentucky, into parts of northern Tennessee there. And then you go south down to the Gulf, and they've got an absolutely beautiful day here for May the 5th. So forecast for tonight, it'll be a low of 51, mainly clear skies. Some of you will fall into the 40s, probably needing a jacket at some point tomorrow morning or a sweatshirt. Expecting patchy fog to develop. It could be dense in spots. Then we go into tomorrow, just a great day from start to finish. Despite that cool start, temperatures warming up into the mid 70s, mostly sunny, maybe partly cloudy by the afternoon. And then we get to your 10-day forecast here, and then you just kind of see the end of the week. Wednesday, a cooler day again. Highs will be in the upper 60s, maybe low 70s. Periods of scattered showers and storms. It looks like Wednesday is probably going to be the most coverage of the rain and storms that we see. 77 on Thursday. Most of that shower activity should hold off until Thursday evening. For Friday afternoon, evening, periods of showers, maybe some rumbles of thunder. As of right now, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, no threat of strong to severe storms. And then we go into the weekend. Weekend looks pretty nice. Might be a little cooler than what some of you like, but still low to mid 70s and mostly dry. That's important too. At some point, once my lawn finally dries out after all the rain we saw last week and over the weekend, I'll have to cut it because it looks like it jumped up significantly over the weekend. It's very green, can't complain about that, but it is certainly getting along. So that's how it all breaks down. Again, thanks for your time on this Monday for Weather Extra. I'll be on Tennessee Valley Living with Peyton Walker at 11 o'clock, and I'll be on your newscast at noon with Gina Benitez. I hope you join us for both of those. If not, if you're busy, we'll see you tomorrow for Weather Extra, or of course, I'll be on your morning news tomorrow. So have a great Monday, a great week, everyone. Enjoy the cooler temps when we've got them. It'll be hot soon. Have a great day.